Alrighty, here is 9.5 day 1. Here is your problem of the day. Now, this looks a little scary, but it's just like what we did last week. You see a fraction, we got to get rid of the fraction. A fraction just means division. So if you ever see a fraction, know it's dividing, and so you need to do the opposite of division, which is multiplication. So we are going to multiply. We're going to multiply it to this fraction, whatever is on the bottom, also known as the denominator. So what number is in the denominator, which is on the bottom? Hopefully you said 25. So we're going to multiply each side by 25. By doing this, this allows us to cross cancel this 25 and 25, because really we'd be multiplying by 25 over 1. So we multiply two fractions together and we can divide both the top and bottom of those 25s by 25. And if we divide by 25, oh gosh, it's off the page. If we divide by 25, there, it's down there. 25 divided by 25 gets us 1. And same thing over here, divide by 25 gets us 1. So now we're left with 1, 1, 1, and so if anything times 1 is itself, but remember, whatever you do to one side, you got to do to the other side, so we're going to multiply it by 25. Okay, so we are left with 1s all on this left side, except for that 6 plus p, so 1 times 6 plus p is just 6 plus p, equals 1 times 25 is just 25. All right, now this should look familiar. We just got to get p all by itself, so I'm going to put that line down the middle. I need to do the opposite of what this positive 6 is. There's no sign here, but if there isn't a sign, that just means it's positive. So the opposite of positive 6 is going to be negative 6. So minus 6. These cancel out. We're left with p equals 25 minus 6. Well, 25 minus 5 is 20, minus 1 more is 19. Final answer. All right. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, you are doing this one on Nearpod. Pause right here and solve this one on your own. Okay, welcome back. Hopefully you're done. Let's check your work. You saw that this was a fraction, so you should divide by, the fraction is division, so you need to do the opposite, which is multiply. So we're going to multiply by whatever's on the bottom. 24, multiply by 24. 24 divided by 24 gets us 1, so these cancel out, 1, 1. We are left with x plus 8 equals 1 times 24 is 24. Then you get x all by itself, so we are going to do the opposite of plus 8, and we are going to subtract 8, x equals 24 minus 4 is 20, and minus another 4 gets us 16. If you got x equals 16, you are correct. Okay, so today's work, we are still dealing with transformations. However, today we are going to be putting all of our transformations together in a sequence. We're going to apply a sequence of transformations. So we have the pre-image, which you know is the starting shape. The image is the end shape. And today we're actually going to have a few images. Transformation is a change. We're changing what these shapes look like. Orientation, the same layout direction. So remember I had the arrow and it spins, and congruent just means they're the same. All right, down here we have a review of what we've done. So we're going to be seeing some translations where the shape just slides around. Then we have reflections, or where they flip and mirror over an axis and they look exactly the same. They're the same distance away from an axis. And we just count boxes. Remember those? And last but not least, we have rotations where they spin around the origin. So we're going to be doing a mixture of all these today. And I'll show you how that's going to look like. So here's our steps. So it says, use the first transformation on the pre-image to create an image. So it's going to go from A to A prime. But then we're going to have to do another transformation. It says use the next transformation on the pre-image to create another image. So then it's going to go from A prime to A double prime. Ooh, double prime. So we got two tick marks. Then we're going to keep continuing until all of our steps are complete. And so we're just going to keep adding these tick marks to every shape until we're done. And you remember we got clockwise and counterclockwise. Clockwise goes to the right, counterclockwise goes to the left. And here are your quadrants. You got 1, 2, 3, 4. They go in the shape of a C. 1, 2, 3, 4. These plus and minuses. So some of you guys were noticing on a graph that these are positive and these are positive. So this quadrant is all positive and positive. This side is negatives and these are negatives. So both the X and Y's are negatives. And then in each one of these, the X and Y have different negatives. So the negatives are in the X's here, but we're in the positive Y. And over here, we're in the positive X's, but we're in the negative Y's. So these will come to play when we translate a little bit. And here we go. Here's our first problem. All right, so we're going to apply all of these steps to our shape. So let's see, I think I have to zoom out a little bit. Oops. Okay, there we go. All right, it says first thing we got to do is, come on, reflect across the x-axis. Remember, we got to find the x. Is this the x? No, this is the x-axis. So I have to make my shape jump over this x-axis. So remember, I'm going to count. So let's do, how should I do this? Let's make this organized. So I'm going to do this one in blue, okay? So I'm going to reflect across the x-axis. So I'm going to click. Now these, some of your, maybe your shapes don't have any letters. You can assign whatever letters you want. So like A, B, C. All right, so reflection, remember we just take every letter, we count how far it takes to get to the axis, and then we count that much farther away from the axis and label it the same letter. So I see that C is 1, 2 spaces away from the x-axis, so I have to go 2 more away. 1, 2, and this is now C prime. Okay, I'm gonna do that for the other 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. This is now B prime. See how I'm labeling them right after? Because some of our things are going to flip. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is now A prime. Okay. Use my stylus and make my shape. All right, so there's my reflection. I have A prime, so I know this one was my pre-image, the one I started with. And I know this is my image because I have those tick marks on there. Now all the rest of these steps are going to go based off my new image that I have. So let's see, let's go with red. So now I'm going to do this step in red. So when you see a parentheses like this and you see x minus 3, these are translations. X minus 3 just means on the x-axis, we are going to subtract 3. So on the x-axis, I'm going to erase this. On the x-axis, these are the negative numbers that go to the left. So I'm going to subtract 3. So I'm going to take all these points and subtract 3 on the x. So my shape is going to move to the left. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to put a new dot. Remember, don't put up all these bunny hops. I'm just doing it to show you. So now this is A double prime. So I'm going to erase my bunny hops because my point B is going to come over here. So 1, 2, 3. This is now B double prime. And 1, 2, 3. This is now C double prime. All right. Done, done. Now we're going to do, we got another one to do. Oh, let me connect my dots. So see, my shape just shifted over 3 spaces to the left. Okay, so now let's do green. We're now going to reflect across the y-axis. The y-axis is up and down right here. So my shape is going to flip over this axis. So I see A is already on the y-axis, so it does not have to flip. So it's actually going to be right on top. And this is going to be A triple prime. 1, 2, 3. Okay, A triple prime. And now I got to flip C. So we go 1, 2, and I go 1, 2. And remember, we're reflecting. 1, 2, 1, 2. Oh, Miss Abby forgot the label. C triple prime. B triple prime. And connect my dots. Okay. See, it just flipped over. It looks like it should look exactly the same, minus my terrible line skills. All right, let's move on to, what is this? Y plus 4. Y plus 4 means on the y-axis. Plus 4, does that sound like it goes up or down? I think it sounds like it goes up. So I'm going to go up because the positive numbers are up. So I'm going to bring all these points up 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is now C, I guess quadruple prime, 4 prime, 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know if we started writing these in Roman numerals or not. Never got this far. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now this is B, 1, 2, 3, 4. And A is 1, 2, 3, 4. A is right in the middle now. And this is A 4. Okay. And connect my dots. Okay. Let's see, what other colors can we do? Let's pick orange. Okay, so now we're going to rotate 90 degrees clockwise around the origin, our favorite. Okay, so we're going to rotate 90 degrees clockwise. We need to write ordered pairs. So 90 degrees clockwise. Remember, clockwise goes to the right. It's going to go to the right, and 90 degrees is just 1/4 turn, so it's going to end up over here somewhere. So let's write our ordered pairs. So we got A, B, C. So the point of A is 0, 0. Point of B is -2, 0. And the point of C is -2, +2. -2, +2. Okay, and the rule for 90 degrees clockwise. Do we have our handy dandy cheat sheet up here? No. So 90 degrees clockwise. Let's see, my x's are negative, and if it flips over, my x's are going to change. They're in the on the negative side, right? And if it flips over here, it's going to turn positive. So that must mean my x's are going to change. And remember, if it was 90 degrees, they definitely flip-flop. So y goes here, x goes here. And since we are not changing where we're going in the y's, we're not going up and down, it's going to be flipping over to here. My y should stay the same, and my x's are negative. Okay, so now we're going to flip-flop them. 0, 0 stays as 0, 0. So A is going to stay the same. -2, 0 is now going to be 0. A -2 times a -1 gets me a +2. And we're going to switch to a -2. And this -2 changes to a +2. All right, let's graph those. Let me erase my star. I have 20 seconds left. Okay, 0, 0, and 0, 2, 1, 2. So 0, 2 is B. My dot looks like a bee.